Okay, we're unmuted. We're good. Um, hello everyone. Sorry, I was just fixing up the last thing there. But welcome into another episode of the Ill-Fitting Podcast. We are here today with Bambina Fofina in the Xander. Is it the Xander or the Xander? I've been meaning to ask you that like all week.
The
Okay.
I ignore the. I just say Xander. I
Oh,
just put the on there because I couldn't put anything else.
Fair enough.
True.
But guys, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us what you've been playing. What's going on with you guys? All that fun stuff.
Xander, you go first.
Girl, all right, hi everyone. I'm Xander. I play a ton of JRPGs on my channel. I'm currently playing through the entire Xeno series, so Xenoblade, Saga, and then Gears. And then after that, to look forward to is all the Persona games. I'm a big fan of anime. My favorite anime of all time is One Piece. I'm a huge music lover as well. Yeah, that's all about me.
Nice. I'm always so bad at these. That's why I was like,
That's why I throw them to you guys.
Hi, I'm Bambina Fofina. I play Final Fantasy. I played Final Fantasy VII for the first time ever last year. Just finished Rebirth. Now gonna start moving on to some other Final Fantasies. Played through Persona 3 on stream. That was my second Persona, but I'm seeming to love the organization and the structure of that game, so there might be more of that. And right now I'm kind of playing a slew of different things. 13 Sentinels, Baldur's Gate. I just started The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for the first time ever the other day. That was wild. So yeah, just a bunch of random things happening on my channel, but mostly just like chaos and cozy, as you can tell. So that's me.
Well, awesome. I'm really excited to have both of you guys here tonight or today. And we are going to be talking about the Game Awards, all things good, all things bad, all things Geoff. And I just
People love that title.
I love that title. I used it last year, and I actually, it's funny, I always email him. I'm like, you should come onto my podcast. And then he never answers. But what he either doesn't get it because he's too busy, or he's a coward. Get out here, Geoff. Get out.
True.
But yeah, I'm honestly, this was the 10th annual Game Awards, and I was very impressed. I was like extremely impressed with the show.
It was very exciting.
Sometimes they're hits, sometimes miss. They're normally okay, in my opinion, right? Like, there's, even when there's not something for me, it feels like it was still an okay show. Like, there was a lot of content, you know.
I do agree.
Yeah. But this year I felt like there was a lot for me that I'm just like genuinely excited about.
I'm interested.
Yeah. And I kind of want to start it out with like the first thing that really hyped me up for the show. Mm-hmm. If that's okay, just to get it going. The Witcher 4 was the best thing I saw at the show. It was also like the first thing. It was super early in the show too. But
I feel like it was.
Yeah, like I would have put it as the closer. Like, in my opinion, like I think it would have been a great way to wrap up the show. Everyone would have been everyone knows The Witcher. Mm-hmm. And they're like, I wish we had some gameplay for it, but it was a cinematic trailer. But CD Projekt Red and their cinematic trailers always just blow it out of the water anyway.
It was gorgeous.
It was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what Ciri was fighting, but I'm really intrigued.
I was like, ooh, looks like a spider.
It was very spidery.
Oh. Yeah, it was like this weird. I don't know. It was scary. It was fun. It was
Watching her take the head back, I was like, oh no.
I was like, she's that bitch.
Yeah, she's that bitch.
I mean, like, she was like, one of my favorite parts of The Witcher 3 was playing as her. Like, there was little segments where you get to play as her. And her combat was great. Her dodge was like very unique compared to Geralt's. And I just, oh god, I love it. I'm so excited. I know, I guess I should point out, you know, like a lot of people weren't super happy with Siri,
Oh.
which I don't know
Oh,
why.
yeah.
Cause, well, like everyone's like, oh, you know, Witcher went woke, which has been like a very politically driven series its entire lifespan. But like,
You're
Yeah.
like, since when?
yeah, like,
Yeah,
but
admittedly, I haven't played any of these games, but it is beautiful, and just what I
you,
was saying right before we went live. I'm like, I need to play different games now. Like,
yeah,
I need to spend a year
Yeah.
just like in a cave playing all these games.
you should play The Witcher 3. I
That's
highly
what I'm
recommend
hearing.
it. I
Yeah.
actually, oh, good.
So I haven't finished it. Like I got pretty darn far. But I and it wasn't anything that just like turned me off from it. Like it was one of those things where
Mhm.
like I jumped onto like the next new thing that came out and just completely forgot to revisit it. But I really want to play it again. But I'm considering streaming it as well because I really want to play it and all the DLC as well. But I'm a big fan of the series in terms of like I've read the books and stuff, so that sort.
Mhm.
And so I love that they're now having Siri at the forefront because she's basically the main focus in the books. So I'm really
I-
excited for what they're doing with the series going forward with it, especially considering I kind of know how it all ends and such
mhm.
with like 3, but that doesn't take away
Yeah.
like I'm still gonna play it and enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a really good point. Like, how do I put this? Like, well, first of all, I do want to go back. My only problem I ever had with The Witcher was because PlayStation, and that was
What?
I beat the original game,
Mhm.
and then
Nice.
right before the DLC came out, uh
Mhm.
um my HDMI cord broke, or like port on my
Oh,
PS4
I
broke,
see.
and I
No.
had to send it in to get fixed. And I guess
Oh.
for some reason they wiped my hard drive. Like, I
Oh,
lost all like 100 hours of
that's
gameplay.
painful.
I was so
Yeah.
I would've
it
been
hurts.
devastated.
I was so devastated. It was, yeah. I'll never forgive them. I'll never send anything back.
I
I'll
have
just do it
huge issues
myself.
with PlayStation.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, like,
Damn.
I just don't understand why they would do that. Just for an
Kinda like, why
HDMI
does
port.
and that's something I've noticed as well, like, sometimes they're like, "Oh, yeah, we need to wipe the hard drive, so make sure you back everything up." It's like, you're fixing something within the console, you're not touching my hard drive, why do you
Yeah.
need to wipe that for?
Well, like,
What's the
Don't
point?
I
touch my
would have
hard drive.
I would have backed it up too if I was able to see the screen, but the HDMI port, right?
Oh,
You
I
know,
see, I see.
and it was just,
As a mage.
and then what was? Oh yeah, the reason I brought up the whole Siri thing though, one of the things that makes me laugh every time I see people complain about it is in like 2014, 2015 when that game, the third one came out, everyone wanted a game where you play as Siri.
Yeah.
And we get
Yeah.
it. We finally get it. And everyone's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
this
they
is
don't want it
stupid."
anymore.
Yeah. It's like, why?
You can't win.
Well, yeah. It's like I've wanted that for so long and we finally got it, and
And she looks like a badass.
she's a
I mean,
Yeah,
badass.
I'm
she
happy.
looks so
She's
good.
the most
I was
badass
thrilled.
character. Like, there's Geralt and Ciri, and they're like tied for the most badass characters in that whole
Yeah.
series.
I
Like,
remember in the trailer, I was like, when he was like talking to her before he like turned around, I saw the face. I was like, oh, please let that be serious. And when he turned around, the hood came off. I was like, ah! I was
yeah.
screaming.
I mean, in her
I got so happy.
her armor was so cool too.
Yeah, it's
It
so
it looked
nice.
Yeah.
it was like almost Geralt's armor, but like it
Mhm.
was still very
It
unique
had
to
her
her.
own little
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it was so good. Dude, Kev says, as soon as he saw Siri, I lost my mind, and I'm so excited for it.
Yeah.
Me too, absolutely.
Yeah, the
Absolutely.
game looked gorgeous. I think said it was on Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found out it was using a like a Series
Unannounced.
50. Yeah, like
Yeah,
graphics card.
that's crazy. And I mean, yeah,
Damn.
like it was unfortunate for whatever came after it because the difference in quality was
Oh,
really crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't really show anything after that. It's got to be like straight up cartoony. Like
But
it cannot be
I
real
mean,
life
yeah, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
graphics. No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying like that's always true though for their trailers. Like The Witcher 3 had the best cinematic trailers. You like totally check them out.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. They just blow everything out of the water. It like almost doesn't do the game justice because they're so good. But
Yeah.
they're great. They're always great. I think that's all I had to say about The Witcher. I watched that trailer like 30 times. It's amazing.
It's so good. I keep eyeing The Witcher 2. I'm just like, I'm gonna reinstall you.
I'm gonna reinstall you.
Well,
I promise.
I think they announced they were remaking the original first Witcher 2, which I'm
no
like,
way.
I that was a while back, so like
Oh,
that one didn't age super well, so I'm really excited.
So I'm glad it's getting an update. Yeah, it definitely needs some new life. So I'm glad.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. I'm even more excited now.
Yeah, I'm so excited. You guys, I'll let you guys take it to the next game. What do you guys want to talk about?
Oh man.
We'll just go in a circle
There's
and
so
take turns.
Most of the stuff, like I said, that I saw on here was just more interesting in the fact that I feel like it's, Witcher 4 is like one of a series, and I'm like, well, now I have to play this entire series, or maybe I don't,
4 starts a
But
whole new saga.
Yeah, Force.
Oh yeah,
but you can pick them up really anywhere.
You can, yeah. It'll be like one of those things where like having that extra lore would be like more like I guess beneficial in a sense, but it's like you wouldn't be missing out. Yeah.
Like I remember The Witcher 3, it started out and it would ask you questions. And like those questions would be based off the past adventure, so it shapes it to it, but like it's not necessary.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Kev says I jumped in at 3 and that's where I did too.
Yeah,
like,
I jumped in at 3 and went backwards and then played 1 too.
I think that's also with this day and age of like us being in the PS5 like new console era, we're having these series that have been around for so long since like PlayStation 1 and 2 and maybe even 3, and they're having to like remake them almost, or like have that so where the people can come back and like okay, well I still want to reference it even if it didn't age very well, and I feel like even Near Replicant does that.
Gotta play
and
that
I mean,
series.
I know you have yet to play it, Trousers.
Yes, you do.
I plan on it next year for sure. Like at sometime next year.
I mean, like Near Replicant has moments where I'm like, I see it's dated here, but yeah, like I kind of want to do that, and like I said, I want to be in a cave for a year and just play the whole thing, and its origins, because I feel like that's important. Like even sometimes, speaking of the Nier stuff, I want to play some of the Gestalt games, even though they probably didn't age well. But like,
and Drake and
I
Guard
would
as
still
well.
want to play them. Anyway, but I feel like some of these releases that came out, my whole point with saying that was that we're getting like one of a series that has been around or originated a long time ago. So it's almost like I want to have to go back and like start from there. But one of the newer drops that I'm excited for is the game that was made by the It Takes Two studio, Split Fiction.
Yes,
that
looks so good.
That looks wicked fun. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I really want to play that.
Yeah, at this point, I've played It Takes Two like 2 or 3 times, which you kind of get it by then. And I can definitely see like how it is similar, but I am just like, I feel like there are not enough couch co-op games that aren't like Mario Party, and not like Jamboree or Mario Kart, and we need just like more couch.
Yeah,
we 100%
just co-op in general that I can play with a friend online, and feel like we're actually both contributing to the story. So I don't know. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that one because it takes like 2 of my favorite genres, like sci-fi and fantasy, and like combines them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like owning.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, having to only own one copy between the 2 people is like also perfect
really
too.
Wait, what?
Thing.
Yeah,
yes, with It Takes Two, you can buy like just one copy, and then your friend doesn't have to buy it.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's so cool.
And that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's almost necessary with games like that, though, too.
Like that? Yeah, absolutely.
You need 2 people to play it. Yeah. It literally takes two. I'm sorry.
You're
I'm
right,
sorry. I'm
actually.
sorry.
And it's like
What are the
even
rules?
and it's like even if you're like playing across, the online, like it does make that even further feel, even if you're not necessarily next to them, it makes it feel like you're playing like that exact same like thing together. So I love how
Yeah.
it like
Oh
does that
yeah.
even further.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It really brings people together, and I think that's a really cool feature of it.
Yeah. Xander, you take the mic.
I was just gonna say, I was like, I'm not sure who else is a Borderlands fan, but that had me excited. That had me so stoked. I got into the Borderlands series about 2.5 years ago. I still need to play through 3, but I fell in love with that series so much. And then they came out with the whole Tiny Tina, and she was one of my favorite characters to come out of 2. And so I was really, really excited when they announced 4. And the new Vault Dwellers, I think that's what they're called. Those look really freaking sick. I really like how those look. And I love that even with it being, more modernized, like in terms of graphics, like it still had that nice cartoony, like
Charm to
unique
it.
charm
Yeah.
to it that Borderlands has had. So I'm really looking forward to that. That was
Yeah.
so cool.
That's one of those classics. I feel like I've seen that game franchise and that logo for so long, and somehow it like never crossed my path.
If you ever
But
want to
I
play those,
hear
they're
it's
co-op,
worth
and
it.
I would love to like play with
They're
you if you ever
cool.
go.
They're
Yeah, they're
co-op.
co-op. Yeah, you can run through
Wow,
the
I don't know
whole
why I
story
said it
together.
silly.
So
Co-op.
Co-op.
I I've always wanted to play them too. I've never played. Well, I've played like
I'll play with
bits.
both y'all. I
Okay.
love those games so
He's
much.
like, I'll do 2 games. Let's
Yeah.
go.
But I did watch you play Tiny Tina's
That
Wonderland
was
on stream.
so
Yeah,
I
fun.
heard people love Tiny Tina's.
It-
Yeah,
Love, love,
Tiny.
love,
That
love.
was such a fun game. Oh
it
my
looked
god.
really fun.
And it had a nice little D&D aspect to it, which I really
Yeah.
enjoyed. Like I'm not big like I think it's such an interesting concept. I've never been able to like get into it myself, but like the way that they implemented it into Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, I was like, "Oh, this is so sick." And I actually got a little bit of a good feel for it. So it was a really nice like addition to it.
Mhm.
Do you have a favorite Borderlands, and like what would that be?
Honestly, I think 2. I really
Two-
liked the whole like everything that came out of 2. Especially the whole like I loved Handsome Jack as a villain. That was really, really cool.
uh,
But yeah, I still need to play 3 to get like a good idea like of out of the 3, but 2 is definitely my favorite out of it. And especially because again, like I love that not only was Tiny Tina introduced and she was one of my other favorite characters, but then she got her own spin-off game. And I know Borderlands as well, like they had a little like DLC for her, and I love that they like elaborated on that more and gave her like a full-fledged game. So like I was really eating good with 2. That's
I was
probably
eating
definitely my
good.
favorite.
like my most like experience with Borderlands was I played the demo of 3 at like E3,
Mhm.
and that was really cool. They gave us like the psycho mask and stuff, and like
Oh, that's
it,
sick.
I gave that to my friend because like they love Borderlands, but I was like,
I was like,
you know,
don't
like
need this
I was like,
trash.
I'm not, I wasn't big into the series, but the demo was
Yeah.
fun. The demo was fun. Like I understand why people love it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Oh
even
my
though it
God.
has like that old raunchy, campy humor, like I love it for Borderlands.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
I remember the person who did who came out for Split Fiction and like announced it was like cussing up a storm, and I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny because I think Borderlands was like almost right after it, and that
It was like a
they said
perfect segue.
fluffin'. And I was
I
all
know,
like,
I think
oh,
You're
like,
like, dude.
it's like that's very backwards from
That guy took all the curse words for the
Yeah.
entire show, probably.
Yeah, it's like I was gonna be the one to cuss, but I guess I'll say
Yeah.
fluffin'. I was like, that's so
That
backwards.
guy with that jacket going, that was insane. It was so corny. I was like, oh god.
We've talked about some good stuff, and maybe I'm gonna bring up something that I didn't really like about the show now.
Yeah, yeah,
Ooh,
we can
okay.
balance it out. Yeah.
The good and the bad.
Yeah, and I guess this is kind of like a good and a bad, I guess, together.
Mhm.
But I loved that they brought out the Game Changer Award, and they talked about all the layoffs in the industry.
Yeah.
And I thought that was great. I think it's weird that they neglected to not mention the SAG-AFTRA strike.
Yeah, the
though.
strike. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think those things kind of went hand in hand, and I think they
Mhm.
should have brought up both of them. there's so many studios there who haven't like signed the deal for the strike yet, and all these actors you have coming on presenting awards for these studios. You should be like, hey, these are the people you're neglecting in
what if
in our space. Yeah,
like, hey man, go do that.
So I
Go
did it
sign
right
that.
under the rug.
yeah.
They're like, we're gonna slightly acknowledge, but not really.
They acknowledge I don't remember them mentioning SAG-AFTRA at all, though. Like,
No, I don't think they did.
and
it's like there was that one guy, I think, that I forget his name, that came on, but like he was taking jabs, and I was like, yeah, keep doing that, man.
Yeah.
Keep taking those jabs. Like he was really kind of like low key sliding them in, and I was like, yeah, I'm like, that's what we need. And it felt like I'm glad they addressed and really listened to a lot of like the wrongs that people had been complaining about for years, but it almost felt like he was also like trying to like tiptoe around it and try to play safe. And it's like, nah, dude, fully dive in if you're going to address these issues. Is like, this is such an important, thing for not just gaming, but everyone that's, within the industry that helps give us these games. So it's like, don't tiptoe around it and just give some like little fluff here just to be like, oh, so we, that we like, they think like, oh, they're doing a good job. It's like, yeah, you're starting to do a good job, but keep putting that effort forward.
Yeah, and I mean, like, look at and like they care about how the industry's going. Look at the applause. Amir, I wrote his name down, but I'm gonna butcher it.
Yeah.
But Amir Savit, I think.
Mhm.
He got a standing ovation for that award, and like,
Yeah,
that was probably the coolest thing I've seen at the Game Awards. Like in that regard, it was amazing.
It was a beautiful little moment. I
Yeah.
agree. Like, to even, because his thing was he made that website, collected all the jobs, postings, and created that space for them.
He found
That's
3,000 jobs for developers.
incredible.
That's amazing. I'm really happy. I've never heard of it before last night or that night either. So I'm really glad that's something that came on my radar.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's true for a lot of developers now too. So that's amazing. Yeah, that was kind of just, I don't know. Do better about this SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah.
A great job on the Game Changer Award. That's kind of all I had to say on that. Yeah. I'm gonna pass the mic over.
I was gonna say, I guess and I guess it's not so much bad, but it's just like, I personally feel, and this comes in term with the music, I really do not think we should be bringing, and nothing against Snoop Dogg, dude's a legend, but like, we should not be bringing artists and bands and stuffs like that into the Game Awards if they have nothing to fucking do with music. Like, there's so many different composers and artists that have made amazing, incredible original music for video games that could have been the perfect, opportunity to get in the spotlight. But it's like, just because Snoop Dogg has a skin in Fortnite doesn't mean that he's done shit for Fortnite. He just has a skin. Or like another perfect example was like, they had 21 Pilots on there to do something for Arcane. Like, sure, it was a show, but it's an adaptation from the game, so that made sense. Same with
and that was a beautiful performance.
Yeah,
too.
That was
that
a beautiful
21.
performance. Yeah, it's like, if you're making like original music for these things, and like, like, I feel like that's a perfect opportunity to do. But if you're just bringing on artists just to show off their music and play their songs, like that, there's a whole other form of media plays for that, not the Game Awards.
Yeah,
which is their kind of normal space anyway. So like, why are you really here?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of trying to give Snoop Dogg the benefit of the doubt, and like, maybe he's announcing a song for a video game or something.
Yeah,
like that would have been
my new album.
Yeah, here's my new album. Like, I don't care.
Like, it wasn't music related, but like, I thought at first I was like, oh, why is Post Malone here? But then Post Malone has this whole like DLC circus.
I
was shocked.
And I was like, oh, that was really cool. Like, that's a perfect way to like bring these artists in if like they have actual contributions to these video games.
He's a very nerdy guy. But I've been finding out like more about Post Malone lately, and like,
the more I learn about Post Malone.
I don't even, jack of all trades, really.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. He's everything all at once.
Wait, I believe Snoop and his son started Death Row Games, but I didn't even know that.
Really?
That's the first I'm hearing.
They should have brought up that at the Game Awards.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. He was like, I don't have a game. He said, yet.
Yeah.
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah, he did say that.
Oh,
Before
I
he
missed
read
that.
off, I forgot which award it was, but he was about to say like, "Oh yeah, this game won." And I guess somebody was like, "Say your game," and he was like, "I don't have a game."
Y-
He's like, "Yet."
I see. I thought that was a joke. I
Oh,
didn't
okay.
realize he had like a studio or any. Huh.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
maybe that's
It,
why.
if
villain.
he,
Yes,
yeah.
they could have brought on Lotus Juice. That missed
Oh
opportunity.
my.
I would have
I
done
would.
an
Opportunity.
actual backflip. I don't know how to do
No,
it.
I would have
would
been.
figure it out.
I would have got out of my seat like I did for that Infinity Nick is like. I would have been having a whole
Dorked
party
on
in
the
my
wall.
room. Yeah.
I mean, and just thinking about the music that came out of games this year, Persona 3, Stellar Blade,
Oh yeah.
just like Final Fantasy, just
You're ripping
The-
open old wounds.
well, I'm just saying, there's so many,
I'm
there's so many better choices than Snoop Dogg being in Fortnite, like to justify Snoop Dogg.
I will say, whoever's doing his like public relations, they are just knocking it out of the park.
Oh,
They were
Snoop
like, "You're
Dogg.
dropping
Yeah.
a new album. We gotta get you in Fortnite."
We got.
And at the Game Awards, that's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, he said Snoop Dogg and his son Cordell Broadus are starting Death Row Games, a studio built to support minority creators developing and publishing within Fortnite and its Unreal Engine. Not sure if that counts anymore. Oh, okay.
Oh, so,
That's strange.
I mean that could
Damn.
become something though, right? Like,
Yeah, it could be. I
I
guess we'll see. I guess
yeah.
we'll see what comes out of it, in due time.
Yeah, that's a very interesting.
Like yeah, that's one thing as well. Like when I started playing Fortnite again earlier this year with like Bambina and everyone, like I seeing how Fortnite looked now was crazy because like I was like, whoa, this looked so completely different. There was like you could almost like build your own game within Fortnite now, and you wouldn't even know that it's Fortnite. So I'm like, I feel like maybe like that could be a good opportunity to do something like that. Plus, I know Disney and like Fortnite's doing like that whole world collaboration, so who knows what's gonna come out of that? I feel like Fortnite
Yeah.
might be like a really good like opportunity for like games and stuff
Yeah.
that like you wouldn't really expect to come out of it, but it's like another way to play something really cool.
Fortnite's just
Yeah.
so much more than Fortnite now, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
can't-
they're
I
really
can't- I have
dominating
nothing
the
but-
space.
Yeah,
it's a Lego
absolutely.
game. It's Guitar Hero.
Mhm.
It's a
That's
first-person
still
shooter
so
now.
damn cool.
Yeah,
That's
I-
still so cool. I need to get me a Rift Master.
Yeah, I've been thinking that too.
I even started that a year ago, maybe like last November, and it's totally different, even just in that year. So I'm just like blown away by what it is and what it's become. And even when people
Mhm.
were asking me to play last year, I was like, I'm not gonna play that stupid shooter
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, I know like
Look at me.
yeah, like I remember like when I like last played it, which it was just still nothing but a build battle royale, and I was always just like sorry, like I don't want to play, like I don't have fun with it anymore. But like I remember like one day I was like, I'll just shoot this shit with some friends, and like I
Yeah.
have a blast with like I just got back into it this year, and I was I play it whenever like I get asked. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll hop on, and I have a blast every single time. Like it's so fun.
Yeah, I think I got into it last year too, and just it's a great time. I've spent so much money. I hate how much
If
money
anyone's
I've...
like, why aren't you editing? I'm like,
literally, I remember literally like
"'Cause
the
I'm
other
squatting
week.
up right now. Stop.
I remember like the other week I was playing with Bambina, the Empire, and a lot of others, and I was over here looking through the shop. I was like, "Where'd y'all get these skins? I'm willing to spend money just for my."
Gosh,
That's a slippery slope.
they really got me with the My Hero skins in the Avatar: The Last Airbender skins.
They've been slanging them.
They need to bring that back because I want my character to look cool if I'm gonna be playing that game.
My friend, my
I was trying to find the Sabrina Carpenter dance. I was like, where are these all at?
are these?
I spent money
I
on
need
that
to
too. Yeah. Oh gosh, it's so good. It's such a great game though. Like it shouldn't be as good as it really is, but it is.
I agree. I'm ashamed.
Yeah. And like it's kind of funny too. I was I know we're sidetracking really bad,
No,
but
yeah,
I'm fine with that.
It counts. There were so
yeah,
many Fortnite ads.
Yeah,
Damn.
there we go. But like Overwatch is doing an Avatar: The Last Airbender crossover, and
Oh, are they?
I don't care. Like I like,
I don't care.
and
Don't care.
it's sad, but like I love Avatar: The Last. It's my favorite show of all time, and I just can't care about that Overwatch crossover, and I want to care.
I'm glad you said it. I will not play any other shooter game.
Oh,
second
that I
that
would
no,
they
you're gonna
play-
play Marvel Rivals. We'll get you there.
No, see,
No!
no.
No, the second they did Avatar and Fall Guys, remember I like went straight
Oh,
and I bought Appa. I was like, nah.
I bought those skins too. Like,
I was like, I'm gonna be Appa. Let me live my best bison life.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Fall Guys is another game I wish I played more, but
I know. I feel like I've been seeing it kind of like have a little bit of a revival just like amongst our community, and I'm like, it's like I want to play it, but I just don't. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I had all my Fall Guys right when it dropped, like the whole entire game, and then I was like, don't want to play with you anymore.
Yeah.
Like that.
Wait, Fall Guys is in Fortnite?
yeah, they have
Yeah, it is.
yeah, and I think they kind of made Fortnite
Oh,
like
buddy.
a hub
The
for
rabbit
all
hole
of those.
goes
Oh,
deeper.
buddy.
Yeah.
Crazy. I didn't know
It
that.
does. They did have a moment. Oh God,
What?
maybe
That's
like
crazy.
April. Like, I don't know. They dropped. There was a moment where you would drop into the map, and you could, and like do a moment where you interacted with something, and you were actually on a Fall Guys map as a bean
Yeah.
in Fortnite. It was
That's
crazy.
crazy.
And then they
It
give
was
you like
crazy.
a Fall Guy bean backpack and stuff, and it was kind of
Yeah.
neat.
Oh, that's so
It was
cool.
kinda
That
neat.
actually is pretty darn
It was
cool.
crazy.
The beans,
beans have taken
over.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like they're iconic in their own way, and I love that game, and I think I'll always will.
Mhm.
But I don't feel the need to go back to it.
It's
Fall Guys.
it's one of those games I like to pick up every now and then and play with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
community though. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I've played with Lunar like twice. In the you,
Yeah, whenever I
yeah.
play, it's been with Lunar, yeah.
Yeah, Lunar loves that game. I mean, I understand why too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's circle back on track here.
We did go down.
Yeah, we
a whole
we
thing
went down. We fell guide
in the Fortnite.
down
rift.
the okay. I
So
think-
Sonic Racing, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
so
we spotting up, we all battling.
I'm actually really excited for that game too. Like,
Same.
Really?
I think it will be fun. Like,
I love
I've
a
been
racing
wanting it.
game.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
we need a new racing game, and Mario's
love
not
a new
delivering it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean that trailer was so short though. I wanted so much more out of it.
It
It
was
was short.
literally the the shortest thing.
And
on
of
the
course, all
whole-
they showed was Shadow because it's Shadow, but
Yeah.
like perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
got
was
it.
enough to get me hyped.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah, I don't know if there's much I can pull out of that trailer to talk about though.
There's
other-
nothing. It was like
Yeah.
5 seconds.
Yeah, it was like like,
I was
oh,
just
cool.
hoping this come back.
I was like, ooh, a racing game. Ooh, Shadow. Cool beans. We're getting new Sonic.
Yeah.
and then that was it.
A trailer that I think had everyone talking though was the Tekken 8 Clive
That was
announcement.
crazy.
I think I'm gonna play Tekken 8.
No,
I think-
hey,
I'm gonna buy that game now.
I'm gonna-
No,
I
I'm saying,
might,
I
like-
haven't played fighting games since the PS2, and that's like
Literally.
I'm so bad with fighting games. Like that's why I completely avoid them at
Mhm.
all times. But I was like Clive, like I would have like Tifa would have sold me, but Clive will do just fine. Like that's enough to get me to want to buy Tekken and fuck around a bit.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like, I know a lot of people were like, like if Tifa comes to Tekken, I'm picking that game up. I think Clive does a really good job of still keeping that energy.
Yeah.
Like, and
A lot
What's
of
the
people
deal
seem to
with
be
her?
really
Was she
excited
like
about it.
rumored? Because I've seen a lot of people
I
disappointed that it wasn't her because Clive, but they were almost expecting her.
I think
Like it's been recommended, it's been like demanded and like asked, and I know that I think like the developers of it have said like if there's like demand for it or whatever, like they would see what they can do, but in the end it ended up being Clive, so they didn't get what they wanted.
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
though there was like so much
Yeah.
demand for it.
Hmm.
I think a while back when that Tifa rumor started, okay, I just found the article. They wanted a Waffle House stage for Tekken
What?
8. Like, I don't know why,
because
but it was
somebody,
like
throws the chair.
I think that's
Oh,
had to be it,
no.
but people wanted like a Waffle House stage in
Mod?
Tekken. Yeah, it's got to be a mod. I feel like that would check
I
out.
actually can
That
see
would
that,
be
Dylan.
so funny.
Yeah.
Dylan made a good point about Tifa being in Fortnite.
Yeah, she's just
in
using
Tekken.
Yeah.
her fists and kicking.
Yeah, that's very Tekken, right? Like
But, like
Yeah.
Clive adds a nice like uniqueness to it because you get to like do the whole icon, and then you can see like his Zenzuken meter rising up. And it's
Yeah.
like little things where it's like if you've played 16, you'll know what these little things are. And I was like, ooh, I see that little thing there.
Yeah. And I think having a sword character, I don't know if there's sword characters already in Tekken,
Yeah,
but
that was another unique
Yeah.
little addition to it. Waffle House was my stomping grounds during my degenerate years. I would have loved that.
oh no.
Representation.
But oh, gosh, that trailer was just so good, and like
Yeah,
it was a little bit of a tease because I thought they were going to give more Final Fantasy 16.
I know.
content,
At first, I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, what are we getting?" And I
Yeah.
noticed the graphical difference, and I was like, "Okay, this." And at first, I thought it was gonna be another
Right.
Dissidia. I thought they're about to announce a new Dissidia again. And then
Yeah.
I saw, I forgot his name, but then I saw like the way that they matched like the pic. I go, "Oh, it's Tekken." That has to be
Yeah. I mean, either way, it was so exciting, and
I know,
I don't
that's
even
why
play
I thought-
Tekken.
Same. I think the last Tekken I played was 4, and that again that was on the PS2.
Gosh,
Yeah.
I can't even remember the last one I played.
I think Tekken
Yeah, I
4
don't
was like that
know.
orange cover with Jin on the cover of it. I think it was. It's like one of the more iconic looking covers for Tekken.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just looking at my list here now.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay, we got music done. There we go. But so I've never played Slay the Spire before, or like the first one or the second one.
Uh-huh.
They announced that, and a lot of people were excited. And
Yeah.
I don't know, and it's like it looks like it's kind of like a card PG type style thing, and I
Yeah.
actually adore games like that, so I don't know why I've never heard of it before. But
looks
Neither
really,
had
really
I.
cool.
Yeah.
But I was intrigued. I was locked
Yeah.
in. I said, you would think I'd be done with cards after Recom, but I play this
Right.
game. I need to play this.
I know that was me as
so
well.
that
but then-
needs to be something also that's gonna go on the wish list.
yes, that's. I mean, it's what
Tipper, yes.
I kind of just threw it out. So I was just curious if you guys had experience with it, but it sounds like no, right? Like
Yeah,
No,
the Game
but
Awards
right
was
now
my
it's
first appearing of
$8,
it.
and I'm about to buy it.
okay, okay.
Smart financial
The
decision.
original
that sounds like a good buy.
I loved the art style. I loved the idea of cards. I think I also just have like a love for card games IRL, like with
Yeah.
other people. And I am the type to go to like a game store and like sit there and play for hours. So that
Oh yeah.
just like scratching an itch in my brain. So I'm like, ooh, I want to do this. So no, I haven't, but I will. I will be in my cave.
Playing card games. I love that.
Yeah, by myself.
I think that's why I like Balatro so much this year.
Balatro,
Oh
yeah.
my god, it was so good. It was so good.
Yeah.
I
I
don't.
think also you could just zone out and not think too hard about it, you know?
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice sometimes.
Yeah, well, sometimes I zone out too much and I lose. Like, I'm just like,
You're like,
oh,
oh, the ante's back to 1.
oh no, and it's like, oh well, and then you start up again, and
Yeah.
they just dropped a trailer, which I was surprised wasn't at the Game Awards, but it starred Ben Starr, and it was like a live action Ben Starr dressed up as a cloud. And it was such a wonderful trailer. He did
that.
It was good. It was like
I need to check that out.
and it was for like a free expansion. They just added some more card designs, really, but
I love
okay.
the card designs.
yeah,
They're just like a fun little touch.
yeah. It basically changes
Yeah.
like the face cards into like different games, and
Yeah.
I forgot what was added though. I was kind of more
Well,
like
DM
shocked.
says
Ben
that
Starr
Slay
was
the Spire had a Balatro card crossover situation, so maybe it was them.
Oh, Is
or
it?
maybe it's Balatro and Slay the Spire bundle. That's
Oh,
what it
it's
is. Damn, they just said card games. Here you go.
they just threw them out.
Yeah.
It is
That's
nice
funny.
to see card games though get more recognition, and I mean a game
Yeah.
Balatro being developed by one person being nominated, that's huge. That's
Yeah.
so huge.
Yeah. I didn't think about it too hard until I rated out last night after not last night, the night before for the Game Awards.
Mhm.
But they were like, "Man, I'm so sad that guy didn't like go up on stage because you're the single and sole developer of this game. Like you're gonna one day be like, fuck, I'm so like upset I didn't go up there and accept this award." And I'm like, damn, that's so true though. Like
Yeah.
Well,
you got Game of the Year. You know how many like studios and teams just like strive for that?
yeah, like I mean, I think being nominated is just such an honor itself
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And that developer did win one award, I believe, for Balatro. I believe.
No,
It
yeah,
wasn't
they
Game
did.
of the Year though, but it
But
was.
they didn't go up on the stage. Like, so, two other people like accepted it for them.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
I thought the
Yeah.
person who wasn't talking on stage was them. I thought they just
No,
had.
it was like, oh, they didn't want to be here, or I don't know if it was they didn't want to or couldn't, but you know, it was that situation.
Yeah.
Trousers. Random off topic. Your social media message is crazy. Be my stalker.
I forgot about that.
Wow.
I thought you
Wow.
had a bot in your chat. I was like, be my stalker. And I was like, wait a minute. And I saw the link tree.
It just pulls up all my social medias. God, that must have been like 4 years ago. Oh man. But
Oh, it's so
so I'm
good.
so sorry. Oh my gosh, I forgot to do something. I just realized too. I forgot I can add.
I need to check out. I need to check out Slay the Spire. Tiffer had said that he's watched a few streamers play it and it looks pretty cool, but it's not like his type of game. I need to look into. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
The TGA was the first I've heard of that.
Same. But I am very interested. I think what I noticed this Game Awards is that I just want like different texture, if you know what I mean, with like the games that I play. I just want them to be like different.
Yeah.
Rather than just like all action RPG or all, one type of thing. I'm like, yeah, let's throw in a co-op. Yeah, let's throw in a card-based game. Let's also throw in racing and maybe like fighting arcade style games. Like I just want to like try all sorts of things and maybe even old
Yeah.
things.
Because I used to stick to a
And
certain niche myself, but I've been kind of wanting to kind of
yeah,
like go out of my little realm a little bit and just dabble in a little, kind of put my little
definitely.
feet in
Some
the
new
pond.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
Like
Yeah.
card games, I've never really been super like into, and it's just because I was always like, oh, I might not like it, but like I kind of do want to
Mhm.
see if I can get into these other sort of games because like
I
with the games that I have played like Calm or Triple Triad with Final Fantasy VIII or Gwent or not Gwent Gwent with Witcher or Queen's Blood with Final Fantasy, like I've loved
Mhm.
those so much when I took the time to really get used to it. So I was
Mhm.
like, I feel like I might like one if it really clicks with me. So I kind of want to try
Yeah.
some out.
yeah.
Mhm. Queen's Blood.
Queen's Blood. Queen's Blood
If
took
they
up my
ever made
I
that
life.
just start hearing the
multiplayer, I
jazz
would
music in my
be.
head. I'm like,
No. Queen's Blood took so much of my life.
I did all of it. I did like the whole storyline. That thing was so cool.
Yeah.
There's a card game on Kakarot? Ooh, that makes me excited because I still need to play Kakarot.
I picked that up for like used for like $5 the other day. I was really excited.
did you?
Yeah, it was probably a month or. It was like right before Sparking Zero came out. I guess that was a while back
Oh.
now, but
It's been a
Freaking
couple months, yeah.
because I've been watching Dragon Ball for the first time with Tiffer on
Oh
Discord and
yeah.
yeah, and so I have Kakarot installed in my PlayStation. So once like I get caught up with like the Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
story, I'm gonna jump right into that and start. I might even stream it. I kind of want to have like a little anime arc on stream and play that in One Piece Odyssey because One Piece is my favorite anime. So I feel like it'd be really cool because they're both like full-fledged RPGs. They're not like typical fighter beat 'em ups. So I feel like that would be
Yeah.
really fun to play.
so I on my like before I came here to get ready, I saw there was an article. I was at my parents', so I had to drive back home. But the oh yeah, sorry, Sparking Zero. They have an update coming out where they're putting a couch co-op mode, like so split screen couch co-op.
whoa.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Well, I'm not that I have anyone to couch co-op with, but it's still
Zero-
really cool.
Sparking Zero was one of those
Yeah.
other like fighter games where I was like, that can get me back into trying some fighting games. That's the thing too. It's like I avoided fighting games, but with Clive being in Tekken and then me having an interest in Sparking Zero, that's one of those other things where I kind of want to dabble and try out fighting games and actually give them a fair shot instead of just playing it
Yeah.
and mashing buttons just for fun.
I boot up Sparking Zero for like 2 or 3 matches every now and then, and I have a blast with it. You know, it's still great.
You should try Gwent. I mean, like The Witcher. Do they have a separate thing for Gwent?
Yeah, they have a.
Oh, do they?
Mhm.
Ooh.
Actually, I
that's
bought before when I thought I was gonna play the Witcher DLCs. I bought they had physical versions of the DLC, that came with Gwent cards, like physical Gwent cards, and both
Ooh.
expansions had like 2 decks, so it was really cool.
Well, I would love to get into that.
Yeah, and I think they have like a full board game coming out now too. So it's like there's a lot of Witcher
I love
stuff.
board games.
Yeah,
Is it like?
I'm a huge
game,
board game
or is-
fan too.
Not the board game
Me
part, but like
too.
the separate Gwent. Is that like a separate like game you can download or something, or is it
Yeah.
is it like physically? Oh,
They have an online one. It's a little different than The Witcher 3, but it's still pretty fun. At least when I played it, I played it a few years back. And it was cool.
Make my wife play with me and clobber her.
I don't think the board game's out yet, but I think it's like up for pre-orders.
That'd be really
Like,
cool.
yeah. Gosh, man, more Witcher's talk. I love how much Witcher stuff is going on. It's not even about the TV show. It's so good.
Borderlands 4 and The Witcher 4 are like eating me alive from the TGAs. Like that's gonna be so unbearable to wait for, and I can't wait. I need to try that separate one because I remember messing around with it when I was playing The Witcher 3, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a good time. Such a good time.
I can't wait because it's especially because like I had played The Witcher 3 like when it first came out, and I mentioned earlier, like I never fully completed it, so like a lot of what happened is like really not even in my memory, vault anymore. So it's gonna be really cool to like get a refresher and then play through all that again. We were just talking about Split Fiction. That shit looks so fun, Tiffer. That shit looks so fucking fun, dude.
Yeah, Split Fiction's gonna be a really good time.
And y'all said with Split Fiction as well, like it's like with It Takes Two, like only one person needs to play or own it, and then you both can play.
Mm-hmm. They have a friend pass, which is so cool.
I love that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it has to have that just because, like, no one wants to spend $120 or $140.
More accessible.
Yeah,
if both parties had to buy it, you probably wouldn't get as many people playing it. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
did they also make A Way Out? Were they also the same developer?
Yes, I was gonna bring that up, and I actually love that game.
I played that one.
Yeah,
I watched
seems
it so
more
much.
rugged.
It was so fun.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I maybe played that game before I played It Takes Two, and I just like they're two totally different because one's like fluffy and like cute, It Takes Two, and then the other one's breaking out of jail. With your buddy.
That's so cool.
But it is really fun.
It is,
and that like plot twist. I don't know. I wasn't expecting that.
It is nice.
I really need to play those games.
It is nice how drastically.
If you want to, I will literally play it with you.
I want to do more
literally.
I honestly would love to do more like stream collab shit, so that'd be really, really fun to do.
Yes. Every time.
So we got Borderlands.
There's gonna be a collab.
Baldur's Gate. No.
Baldur's Gate. Yes.
Oh,
that's another one
yeah.
That's another one that I've like put off just because I think it's like the whole D&D process. But like now that like my brain's like I want to try other little things, I really want to download.
Baldur's Gate is fantastic. It's so good.
I was expecting it to be harder to pick up as a concept, but it's actually really easy. Or at
I
least
might
maybe
download the
it,
demo
It's
for it and
very
try it out
intuitive.
before I buy it.
Yeah.
Like there's a bit of a learning curve, just at least for me, because I don't play a lot of top-down games like that. But
yeah.
it was really easy to get a hang of after a bit of learning.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
think
okay.
tinkering around, watching other people talking about it, you
And,
kind of pick it up.
and it's multiplayer too, which is like
Oh,
I
is
hear
it?
it's fun in that way.
you can do
Yeah.
a whole co-op campaign, and
Mhm.
like no playthroughs like ever the same, which is really cool too.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
great. I love it.
Mhm.
um Guys,
Has anyone speak on, I guess, on more game topics? Is anyone interested in that one game that's by the same developers that made I think
that
it's Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, that like robot
Oh
looking game?
yeah.
That
oh,
looked wicked cool.
that
I'm
was
really
a
excited. I love Shadow of the Colossus.
I remember, I forgot what that game was called.
I don't think it has a
Um
name just yet. I think it's just called Project Robot right
that's Yeah, okay, it was
now. Yeah.
Project, yeah.
It just has like a code name right
Did
now.
did it did he
Oh, I
say that
see.
was like part gameplay, part
Yeah,
cinematic?
that I couldn't tell where it
Was
switched. I couldn't tell where it transitioned from gameplay to like the cinematic. But that was
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
it made the whole thing look so cinematic. I was like, "Where's the gameplay?" And someone was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it was when he was climbing up the robot." And I was like, "That blended in so
It
seamless." I was like, "Holy crap!"
that like it
Mhm.
reminds me of like Uncharted 4. Like there's like this
Yeah,
one scene where it like
Uncharted 4 is so
transitions so
good.
well. I remember I think it was at E3 when they were showing off. Like the cutscene just like transitioned straight into gameplay, and then the guy's controller didn't work. So
Oh,
like a lot of people were confused where like that why it
Where it
like
stopped.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he's just standing there for like a few minutes, and then it's just like,
Like, all right, will
oh,
you move, buddy?
this is gameplay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I loved the whole Uncharted series, but 4 was so good. It
Oh
was like a nice
yeah,
way to end it off. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I want more Uncharted, but it was such a good ending that I don't want
Yeah,
them to like touch it.
like and it's that's especially, I mean, at least for me, like, because like I loved Uncharted so much, and it breaks my heart to say, but like I don't know what Crystal Dynamics are doing with Tomb Raider, but like that was one of my
They
favorite
sold
series
Tomb
of
Raider,
all.
didn't
They
they?
sold it, yeah, they sold
Yeah.
it to Amazon Games, and they're trying to like not make her a Tomb Raider anymore,
Oh,
and like
okay.
it just
That's
breaks
her
my
whole
heart.
identity, isn't it?
Yeah, they wanna make her like a
What?
vault hunter or something of that sort, and I was like, it broke my heart to see one of my favorite franchises just get treated so poorly, and that they're just completely trying to, like, change the whole, like,
You're right.
identity behind it, and, like, her
Yeah.
like, I
Yeah.
was just like, "Man, that's," and so, like, I love that Uncharted really got that itch for me, and I love that, like, with 4, like, that kinda was, like, the nice send off for Nathan's, start, but, like, it would've been really cool to see it continue with his daughter. That would've been especially the
Yeah.
way that they, like, ended it off, that would've been such a cool way to, like, pass the torch, 'cause I would've loved more Uncharted games.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know why
And
we're
Lost Legacy was really fun too. That kinda gave me a bit more of a, like, of a Tomb Raider vibe, because it was both, I think it was her name was Chloe, and it was someone else, and it gave me more of that Tomb Raider as feel, so I really liked Lost Legacy as well
y-
for Uncharted.
I did like Lost Legacy. It was a nice short experience, but it was
Yeah.
still really fun. Why we're on Naughty Dog though?
Oh my god,
Intergalactic.
Intergalactic was itching such a part of my
Yeah.
brain that just needed to be scratched, and I was like, "Give it to me
You know,
right
when I saw
now."
you tweet about it, I was like, you so would be into that.
That was
But
such tender
it
coded
is
game, I
very
was
like
like
a vibe.
It
Yeah.
was a really interesting vibe. I liked it. I'm not 100% sold on it because like I didn't.
Yeah, like, it has
I
me
need
super
gameplay.
intrigued, but I need to see
Yeah,
more,
yeah.
yeah.
I need to see some gameplay to be sold on it. But
But just what it showed, my brain was being itched in, like, the right spot. I was like, "Oh, this is so
Mhm.
Xander code."
it's
I was like, "I need this."
it's
Yeah.
very 90s sci-fi movie,
Mm,
and it's
and yeah, and I think Neil, had said that, like, a big inspiration for that game is Akira, the anime.
okay. I need to
So
watch
that
that
was really, really
too.
cool.
I've been That's kind of like one that's like in the back of my list, but like I should watch it.
Yeah, I wanna prioritize it now just for that. I was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
I'm like, especially because I know Akira is one of those ones that, like, really put anime, like, on, like, the globe and stuff.
Uh,
It's, like, one of those, like, more iconic ones. Like, I really wanna, like, get that into my brain and consume Akira.
yeah, I need to do that too.
Xander, you do like crazy with ingesting books, media, games, editing, all of the things. You're just like so like efficient with it. I'm like, it's crazy that you're like, yeah, I'm watching this and I'm reading this and I'm, I'm like,
It's
damn.
like
I'm
that's a
everywhere
lot.
all at once.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
but
impressive.
props to you, really.
Yeah, it's
Thank
impressive
you.
and inspiring. You know, makes you want to. It makes me want to
No,
edit. It
really.
makes me want to.
I'm like, I should do more.
Like I kind of it's like especially I love multitasking. So like they're like especially like when I was editing my Xenoblade video because like those are chonky games.
Yeah.
And it's like I'll have my editing software up here and then I'll have anime on the top one. So I'm just doing this and just like kind of multitasking.
Damn. That's me, but I have somebody's Twitch chat open and then I'm like, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh no,
I
I
was like,
haven't been
if I
doing
have a
anything.
if I have a stream open, I have to make sure I close chat, or I'm gonna just keep getting distracted away from it.
Literally.
Yeah. No, I'm a big lurking fan of streams too. Like,
Yeah.
oh gosh, so I'm gonna Okami 2 got or the sequel
yeah.
got announced.
So that was crazy. I had never heard of that game until that moment, and like I was like, at first I was like, oh, what is this? But then I saw chat just flying, and I was like, oh, this is
People
something I
love
need to
that
have my
game.
eye on.
People
Yeah.
love that series. I've never played it. I've always wanted to.
Neither vibe.
I think it bumped up like my backlog list now though. Like I was pretty
yeah.
sold. And we've talked about it on this podcast before.
Really?
Like yeah, we did. Me and my friend, we did an episode where we talked about like art styles in video games. And like Okami's art style is so unique. Yeah, it's so unique too.
I think it's like watercolor like base.
Even though neither of us
painted.
played it, yeah, like we just felt like it wouldn't. We had to talk about Okami.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so. I mean, it's so unique, and I think T-Shaw played it recently too on his stream.
I feel like he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like
it is crazy because that first one came out in 2006, so
yeah,
18 years later we get a sequel.
Yeah. And
Number was telling me that it's very like Zelda coded when it comes to like gameplay and like puzzles and such. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that sold me a bit further on trying it out.
I think how they announced it too by like the opening title sequence song, like at the Game Awards, so that was genius. That was so genius.
When it first started off, I thought they were just doing like a little concert thing at first, and I thought that was like the new Ghost of Yotai game, and then it completely changed. I was like, oh, this isn't that. I'm like, what is this?
I'm actually shocked we didn't see Ghost of Yotai. That was
I'm surprised.
They should have like it's coming out next year, you know, and like I think like a story trailer is coming soon, hopefully.
Probably because they probably wanted to like make sure they like had that in the oven a bit longer, not
polished it. Yeah, because I mean, so many people are excited about Ghost of Tsushima. Like, you want to give them quality when they get it. I get that,
especially from Sucker Punch.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima is one of those that I really want to go back and play because I've never played it.
Oh, it's good.
It's so good.
I hear it's beautiful. I hear the gameplay is amazing.
I think it's on PC
Sekiro,
now
but I think
too.
Sekiro is like harder, right?
Oh God, I can't. I'm playing Sekiro sometime next year, I think, and I'm not ready for that.
I'm scared.
I'm scared.
I don't like being challenged. I like story, and I like gameplay.
I love my sanity. I don't know.
I was talking about this with Timber yesterday, and I was like, we were just like, sometimes it's just like someone just like wakes up one day, like they're just like, I want to put myself in the worst fucking mood, and just boots up Elden Ring.
Yeah.
The sad part is like I would really play Elden Ring, but I just
yeah, it's one of those games I don't know if I'd want to play on stream because like I tend to get frustrated when I'm stuck on stream.
I'd put everyone in a bad mood, probably.
Yeah, I hate being stuck on stream. It makes me feel bad.
Me too. Yeah. I'm like, all right, we're ending right now.
Yeah.
I say that as it took me a whole year just to beat Kingdom Hearts 3 level 1. That was a nightmare, man. That was a nightmare.
Crazy.
Oh man, I should push myself to do it more though, because like probably good for
It
me.
is such an iconic game. Like,
It's nice to
I
do
want
once in a
to,
blue
but
moon for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
That's why, like, I think I completed the like the level 1 critical like 2 years ago for Kingdom Hearts 3. And so that's why I'm like, I'm gonna wait a couple more years before I just put myself through insane torture with Elden Ring, because that's good. That's next on the agenda in terms of like
yeah,
a challenging game for me. But I was like, I need
exactly.
to wait before I want to put myself through that.
I know. I gotta go through
I was like,
therapy
when
all
I'm
over
ready, I'm
again.
ready. Yeah, literally.
Welcome in, Supreme Storm Brawler. I love that name. Thank you for
Oh,
the YouTube sub. I
Supreme.
appreciate it, man. And wow, I missed a few follows. Hi, thank you, Kev, for the follow. And I don't know how to say that name. I'm Tiffer.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
thank you for the follow. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm sorry, I don't have my alerts on my podcast just because it gets a little distracting sometimes. But thank you guys so much. Guys, do you have anything else you want to talk about specifically, or?
Let's see. There was a cute little Italian mafia game that I'll probably be playing that I immediately
Oh.
priced right after. I was like, "Oh, these
Oh,
mafia games are 75% off." I'm
Oh,
going
are
with
they?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like up until that announcement, like I had never really like paid mind to the Mafia games, but that really like piqued my interest. That trailer looked
I-
really cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's the like definitely the mafia side of it, but like being in the Italian countryside or like little cities, I'm sold.
Yeah,
Sold.
Yeah.
Put me in that world.
I've heard a lot
I
of
want to be
good.
part of the family so bad.
I've heard a lot of good things about the Mafia games too.
Yeah.
Really.
They've
I think for me, I was just so like, I think I had just been so burnt out on Grand Theft Auto, and I looked at it as a Mafia Grand Theft Auto.
It's
That I
kind of
think that's why my brain,
yeah.
yeah.
I kind of missed. So I never had a PS3 or like an Xbox during that era. So I missed like so many good games that era, and
Yeah.
I never got to. I had a Wii though, so you know.
Yeah.
See, and that's I think that's on the Wii. And I wish I never did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, there's a lot of good stuff for the Wii, but like I feel like I missed out on so much, and it's like But I got one eventually. I'm kind of going back every now and then and like
All right.
going through those games.
I think I got my PS3 really late in their lifespan for PS3, so I think I skipped most of that stuff, which is a shame. I think I ended up coming back to it for 2.8 because it came out.
Oh yeah, that's exactly
2.5, 2.8.
Yeah, because like right now, like outside of because like right now, especially like one of my focuses for stream is like I want to get through like the old backlog of things that I missed out on growing up, and then throwing some newer stuff in the mix. But growing up, when it came time to either the 360 or the PS3, my parents only got me the 360 because that was the cheapest console at the time. So when I finally had a job and was able to get my own money, it was like way late into the PlayStation 3's life cycle. But I wanted to play Kingdom Hearts and all those other JRPGs. So like my PlayStation 3 was used.
I think it was the perfect time to get into it because there was nothing going on really.
Yeah, and at that time they kind of already it was like a lot of those games more were like Xbox 360 was like thriving at that time, and PlayStation 3 was just like not so much. It was like right when I had it, it was like there was a good category of games to choose from.
Yeah, and like when the PS3 first came out too, it had like a pricing issue too, where it was so expensive.
It was hella expensive. Yeah.
Which I guess they didn't learn because that Pro is so expensive now. I'm like,
let's go back to doing that.
Yeah, let's do that thing no one liked.
Yeah, that'll really sell it.
It's like, oh, and you know what? We'll remove the disc drive too. Oh,
that's
genius!
What you have to buy a whole different disc drive. I'm fine with mine. That sounds like it's about to literally explode at any given moment. That disc drive's fine.
It does. Every time it turns on, I'm like, oh.
It's gotten
even just
louder.
spinning a disc. I'm like,
if I don't have a disc, it just sounds like an airplane just like stalling. But if I put a disc in, it's like, and I was like, oh, that thing's gonna explode.
No, I don't necessarily have that issue. Do you guys have yours vertically or horizontal? Like, how do you?
Mine stands up.
Mine is horizontal.
Mine stands up too.
Maybe I'm the problem.
Well, mine stands up too.
Mine's like,
you're sideways. Oh.
Oh, it
It's
probably.
only
I
whenever.
see
Well,
it.
it moves a lot between there and sometimes if I don't feel like running all the wires behind it, I'll put it behind the TV. But it moves from here and being behind the desk because streaming. So
Yeah.
And now
I
it's
don't
where
know.
the
Maybe
couch
that's why.
was, and
I also have a really fluffy cat. There could be cat hair in there.
And I think someone was on stream when I was mentioning that was like, "Did you clean your fans?" And you were like, "I don't do that."
I know. Yeah, you said that. I was like,
Oh, it's those
no.
those face plates. They're so scary to take off.
Yeah, it's like I've done it time and time again, but every time I feel like I'm gonna snap that thing in half, I'm gonna take it off.
we were talking about that. Like we both pull up videos because it's
Yeah.
like it's such a scary
I'm
process.
like, am I doing it right? Even though I've done it time and time again.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. They had the Muppets at the showcase.
Oh
The
yes,
second I saw it, I'm like, oh,
they
come on, bro.
were amazing.
They were great.
Yeah, they were really funny.
And there,
Yeah.
it was
My favorite part was the whole does Hideo Kojima know he's their friend? It just
Yeah.
points the camera right at him.
I
And he
don't.
was like,
I don't think he knew what they were saying. It's just like
no, he was like, all right.
You
He was
think
like, why's the camera on me?
you think someone would have explained the joke to him like it was gonna happen before it happened, or like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they did that with
He looked so
Kojima,
confused.
and they did that with like the guy from like who worked on the first PlayStation, and they like put the camera on him, and they're like, celebrating its 30th year. We have, I forgot what his name was, but
Yeah.
and he's like, oh yeah, and then he got up like he was walking on stage, and then they took the camera off him.
Oh, I know.
I was like,
They were like, no, sit down.
I was
like,
like,
that wasn't the cue to come up on stage.
but like you would think like if you wanted to go on stage, you would let him like
Yeah.
say something, But I just that was like they just needed to let these people know like, hey, this joke's probably gonna happen, and like it's like especially if they don't know what you're saying.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think the Muppet thing, it was really good. It's nice to know that they've been hearing people's concerns about the Game Awards, and like
Yeah.
they obviously it was a little too late to fix things, but they at least addressed them, and like they made fun of them still, but like it could be a good or a bad thing, right? Like they could just use this as a way to keep copping out all these concerns and like not fixing anything, or they could be like, okay, we hear you guys, we're gonna work on it,
Yeah, and it's like, and if that's the case, then it's like this was a good starting point. So it's like next
Yeah.
time we have the Game Awards, improve and
Hey.
build upon that, do better. Not just
Yeah.
kind of sprinkle like they did this year. Like it was cool they addressed it, but they got to do better going forward as
Yeah,
well.
they're like, hey, maybe we won't have DLC next year. It's like nominated for Game of the Year.
Only because there's gonna be another Elden Ring.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the only reason it got nominated was so they.
Literally, they said, fine, we'll make a whole new game.
Like, oh, you guys don't like DLC? Well, we'll charge you full price for this next DLC.
Yeah, Night Rain. That should be. I guess we know Game of the Year next year.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like if y'all want to nominate DLC, like make a whole new category for like you can include a new category, like build
Yeah.
upon that next year, add a new category, like that would do really well.
Well, like I think DLC, like if it got nominated for music or like something that was new in the game, that
Yeah.
would have been fine. But
It's like I don't think I would have had a problem necessarily if the DLC got nominated, but like because like some DLCs it's like a complete separate game and you do not need the base game. Like in that sense, like that's where I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
like that is okay.
Yeah.
But like with the Shadow of the Erd Tree, you needed to complete the whole base game
Like-
of the first game just to play
You could
Shadow
get
of the Erd
access.
Tree.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
people that and I had heard too that people that like super prepared and like maxed out their character stats and their leveling to get ready for Erd Tree were having the worst time because they could not get past like the first portion of the like boss
No.
fights, even though they like
Mhm.
prepared for like months on end beforehand. So I'm like, that's crazy.
yeah, I mean, at least they got what they paid for, a new challenge. But
Because those are the game players that want
Want to
that level of
cry.
difficulty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we've gotten through like everything on my list. To be
Yeah, I'm
honest,
over here like with my
I'm
pen
like,
just crossing stuff off.
Yeah.
I'm like, what did
I have
did I
something that
miss
says
anything?
like I have my main talking points, and then I have other talking points, which was like the layoffs, the celebrity musics, yada yada.
Yeah.
And then I have cool question mark, and the only thing there is Elden Ring.
There was like the Overcooked developer game that was also a split screen
Oh,
co-op called Stage Fright. I'm
Oh yeah,
excited for
that looked really
that.
that
cool.
looked interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm just so here for more co-op games, I think,
Mhm.
cuz
I'm glad to see that back. And
yeah,
yeah.
it's almost like I go through my Steam, categories and I'm like there needs to be more of these, I feel like, or at least more selection. So that'll be nice. And then the last thing I think we haven't talked about is Onimusha, which had a really cool
Onimusha.
trailer where they were kind of like collecting maybe
Oh, the
like
Orbit of the
souls
Gauntlet
into
or
the
whatever the heck.
yeah.
That looks
Yeah.
sick.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. That was interesting.
Uh,
Those creatures looked really, really cool.
mhm.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, I was more intrigued by like, okay, well, what's the story of this? So I don't
that.
know. Maybe that'll go into the cave.
I think that was kind of the downside of like the trailers they showed though. Like there wasn't. It was mostly cinematic and not a lot of story. Like it was. It
Yeah.
was just like, hey, check out this really cool cinematic,
Yeah.
and like
I
we
think
don't
that's
know
like
Yeah.
anything about the game.
yeah, I think that's like
You're
my
right.
only other
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Was to like cool, it's nice to show us trailers, but like show us more gameplay and
Yes.
make it less
Mhm.
cinematic-y and kind of like give us a nice balance of the two. Like show a really cool, story driven or like, story like little plot, but give us some gameplay to really be like, okay, yeah, like this is because it's like all these trailers, it's cool, like they look great, but where's the gameplay? Like you need to sell me further on
Mhm.
this.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like again, Interstellar. I'm so excited about it. I'm guarantee I'll buy it.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sold on it yet.
Yeah.
Like
I
I'm
was
just
like, I'm
like, ooh,
intrigued, but I need to see gameplay to
yes.
further decide.
Yeah. Like I like what you've done so far, but show me more. Cuz and it's kind of weird. They always Interstellar shouldn't have closed out the show though, in my opinion. I don't think it
Yeah.
was
Yeah, it
a
should have been somewhere else.
yeah, that's why I was saying like Witcher.
Like,
I
it would
think
have been
Witcher
cool to
4 would
start
have
that off and then end it with Witcher and then announce Game of the Year. I feel like that
yes.
would have been a really
Yeah.
Yeah.
good way to do it.
I think they should do an announcement after the Game of the Year announcement because I think it would get people to. I feel like there's a lot of people who just come for the announcements anyway. You know,
Yeah.
so like
Mhm.
if you end it with an announcement, people will stay for Game of the Year, and like basically until the end of your show. you know,
Yeah.
Right.
um, but yeah, because like everyone who's there for the awards still want to see the announcements, and then everyone who comes for the announcements, they'll just be like, oh, okay, well. That's how I'd do it, at least. I don't know. Jeff, take notes.
Come on my podcast
You,
one day, let's talk
you
about it.
coward!
Speaking of Geoff, did we like his brooch? Did we like his
Oh,
sparkly
yeah, I
shoes?
noticed he had. I didn't see his shoes.
Wait, he had
What?
Oh yeah,
sparkly
he
shoes?
has some like maybe they weren't sparkly, but they were definitely like gemmed. There were
Oh my
gemstones on
gosh.
them.
That's
And
where
then
the
he had
budget
like
for the show
snake
goes.
printed, yeah, like a suit. I was like, okay,
Okay.
interesting.
He's going all out
I'm
for
not
the
mad
10th
at it.
anniversary.
Yeah,
Yeah, 10 years of the Game Awards is also insane to
that
think
is
about.
crazy.
As it was.
I was trying to think of if, like, in comparison to last year's Game Awards, this one was like either more exciting or less exciting. And I feel like what you were saying at the beginning of this is I was pretty like, entertained the whole time.
I think I was too. And I
What shoes
liked
he has on?
they weren't rushing the award acceptance
Yes.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was I don't know why they would have done that ever,
Mhm.
but like
Yeah.
it's not
It
like
did seem like maybe they got their pacing down, or
Yeah.
like whoever was like, "All right," was not so in your face about
Yeah.
it.
and like honestly, like I don't know why they felt crunched for time. It's an online show. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
that's
I
kind
don't
of
know what that's about.
yeah. I mean, I guess they do probably pay the staff, but like if the show's
Yeah,
still
maybe.
on, they're making money from YouTube, making money from Twitch. You
Right.
know, it's like
Yeah.
you'll be making money if you go over, but
True.
Um, yeah. Any last thoughts here? I think because we are about at our hour and a half mark.
I don't know. I'm just concerned to see if any of y'all are gonna be playing this One Move Away game.
Oh,
Back up.
I was actually pretty excited
You're into
about that
that?
Which
game.
one?
Have you? One Move Away
Oh,
was
Move
like
Aw-
at the beginning.
It
Where
looked-
you're,
Yeah,
like
that looked
stuffing
really
stuff in the
cool.
car.
That the way that they're stacking it so perfectly, I was like, oh yes.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
okay.
Something about it clicked with me, and I
Yeah.
normally don't.
Really?
I
Have y'all
normally
played
don't play games
Unpacking?
like that. No.
Unpacking, I haven't, but I really want